All right, I'm starting my January 2024 pickup video. Usually not the most things I get in January. Matter of fact, I spent more money this January than I have normally. First, and that is this collection of Lethal Weapon. I did not have the Lethal Weapon movies in any form, not even on DVD, which was surprising. And I saw this. They had this at Walmart and Best Buy for around $13. I think I got this at Best Buy. This is all for Lethal Weapons movies, which I have seen. It's been a while. I do remember really enjoying them, even the fourth one. And you get all four of them for $13. I mean, it's hard to pass. It says they're all 1080p transfers, and do have some kind of special features, but for $13, I thought that's a cool little collection that I was gonna get. So not a bad pickup there. Now where things get a little crazy. So in my current collection, I had 2 copies of the original Avatar, which is my favorite movie of ever. So a lot of people always think that's weird, but I love Avatar. I had this 3D version, which comes with the 3D Blu-ray, the regular Blu-ray, and the DVD, which is just the theatrical release. I'm gonna keep that one because even though I'm not really into 3D anymore, it's cool to keep a copy of that in 3D. The other version I had was this sweet extended collector's edition Blu-ray, which I'd watched a ton of every part of this, everything that was included in this. But it's 1080p. And the new Avatar had come out, and I hadn't got it yet. And thank goodness I waited, because they did the same thing that they did with this movie, where they released the movie in 4K, and then later released a collector's edition, and then they also have the 3D version of the new movie too. But I'm going to wait on that. But I'm going to trade in this regular 1080p extended edition, because everything that is in that is in this new collector's edition. And when I was talking about how I spent some money, this is $50 just for this one. And then I've got the Way of Water too, as you can see down there. What's cool about this, and I'm going to try and open this up one-handed here. I'm going to have taken the plastic off already, but what's cool about this is it's a kind of cool little art book kind of collector's edition, but it comes, if you look here, with the theatrical version in 4K, the special edition in 4K, and the extended cut in 4K. So everything that 1080p copy had, it comes with that, plus all the same bonus materials, it looks like, that are in this. And you also have the Blu-ray that's in that, with the theatrical, special, and extended cut. And who knows, maybe there's more in here, I don't know. But I like that you get the 4K, the regular Blu-ray. The only thing that this is missing, and what I think makes this not the ultimate collector's edition, is they should have went ahead and put the 3D version of at least the theatrical film in here. Since Avatar is all about 3D, even though, I know 3D is kind of dead, but still pretty cool. I'm sure there are better videos of people actually opening this up and going through it. It's going to be hard to do one-handed. I need to get my stand back out. But it's got this cool little book, and it does have like a little magnet in it that keeps it closed. But it's got 4 discs in here. I don't like, but the other collector's edition had this same deal. These little slip covers where it puts the discs, which is not my favorite thing, but because they can get scratched easy. But pretty neat little set with everything that my current collectors had, but in 4K with HDR. $50 for this. Pretty cool. Going to add it to the collection. And then another $50 for The Way of Water, which I saw 2 or 3 times in theaters. I loved this movie too, but I don't think it's as good as the original. But I went and saw this in RPX, I think, opening night at Regal, and then I know I saw it in IMAX. And then, yeah, I did go back and see it for a third time in 4DX. That's right, because I went to Evansville to go see it in IMAX. So, yeah, I saw it 3 times in theaters, and I want to watch it again, and I want to watch all these special features. There is deleted scenes on this that I haven't seen, and it says that there's 8 hours of bonus material. So I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So that is probably what I'm getting ready to do for the rest of the evening here, is really dive deep into the way of water.
This is simple. But who would have thought a jarhead like me could crack the code?
Okay, so I may have lied when I said at the beginning of the video that January is not a busy month for me. Normally it isn't, but I did a trip. About twice a year I'll make a trip to Evansville, which is about the same distance as Nashville for me. Different things there. I went and saw a couple movies, did a lot of thrifting, and got a little carried away, made some mistakes, got some cool stuff though, and we're gonna go through it. But first we're gonna start off with, which I haven't done like my pop collection, only because it would be such a pain because I have them kind of like scattered all over the place. But I did go to my first thrift store stop, and I picked up this Alan Parrish Jumanji pop. I do have like 200-ish pops, so it's not like a huge collection. I know a lot of people have like crazy amounts. Also, I unbox them and stuff. Like, I don't keep everything in the box, which I know people drive crazy. But this was $7.50. After I got this, I saw this everywhere for like $10. Multiple copies of it. So I don't think this is going to be a rare one. But for $7.50, I really do like Jumanji, and I thought, hey, I'm going to add it to the collection. Then at that same thrift store, this one was called Finders Keepers in Hendersonville. I got Outbreak. I actually did not own a copy of this movie. I somehow watched it. I must have rented it or something, or found it on one of the streamers during the pandemic. I remember rewatching this during the pandemic. We watched this a bunch when I was in high school. This is one of the movies that our science teacher had us watch over and over and over again. She was near retirement, so but good movie. I really did like it when I rewatched it during the pandemic, which is kind of a little bit ironic, but I didn't own it, so now I do on a Blu-ray there. I don't like how that cover's a little crinkly. That was $4 at a Finders Keepers, which I thought was a pretty good deal. Then this is an upgrade. I had a DVD copy of this. I really enjoy this movie. This is one of the earlier rock movies that I really like. Sean William Scott's really funny in it. And, I just noticed there's a little crack up there in it, but, another $4 for this one from that same, thrift store stop. Then I went to another thrift store. This one I had never been to, still in Henderson. I forget what it was called. Maybe when I pull up the receipt, I'll see. But this was another DVD upgrade. I honestly cannot remember this movie, but because I had it on DVD, and I think I liked it. I think it's like a post-apocalyptic kind of Mad Max type movie. This I'm probably going to watch tonight. But I upgraded from DVD to Blu-ray on it. Hopefully I enjoy it on the rewatch. I talked about this before. I had Conjuring 1 and 2. This one isn't as good as the first two, but I did like it, and I wanted to complete the set. So that was, all these are, the regular Blu-rays were $2. So good deal. Then I've been trying to get some Nolan movies. Dunkirk I actually enjoyed. I don't think it's a masterpiece. If anybody knows me, I think that Nolan is super overrated. He makes good movies, but people act like he is like God tier. And I mean, it's fine. He has a lot of flaws in his movies. Another $2 pickup. The 4Ks were $3.99, which I thought was a steal. Like, it was hard to pass up on these. Like, so this is a DVD or Blu-ray upgrade. I was like, well, I like to have all the John Wicks in 4K. I just bought John Wick 4 in 4K. So for $4 to upgrade, and this comes with the regular Blu-ray too, to upgrade to the 4K, it's kind of a no-brainer for me. Really liked 3, but 4 was so good. Chapter 4. Same with Greatest Showman. I have like a cool little collector's version of Greatest Showman because I liked it so much. But this came with the 4K and the regular Blu-ray for $4. I was like, well, I'm going to upgrade to the 4K. So the Greatest Showman may be going to Darth Easy. We'll see. And then finally, this another $2 purchase from that same thrift store, which I see the receipt now, so I'll tell you in here in a second. But this movie, I've seen it. I can't remember if I remember thinking that this was better than I thought it was going to be. I have no memories or fondness of the original A-Team, so that's probably why I might have enjoyed it. For $2, I was like, I'll watch this again. I like a good action mission. Plus, it's got Bradley Cooper, Liam Neeson, some good stuff in there, so I will check that out. That thrift store in Henderson, Kentucky was Small Town Treasures. I had never been in there before. I found these all at the same rack. So whoever the guy with the tons of Blu-rays and 4Ks, I will be coming back to you eventually because 4Ks for $4, just good deal. I should have probably got more. By this time, I'd already been at a ton of Goodwills. I found nothing. And every time I get in that space where I'm like, gosh, why do I keep going in these Goodwills? It's a big waste of time. Well, you'll find out why here in a minute, why it is a good deal to do that. And that is because this was my last stop of the evening at this Goodwill in Evansville, Indiana. And somebody had unloaded their Blu-ray collection. They had a ton of Blu-rays. Normally, you mostly find DVDs. And I asked them what the price is on their Blu-rays because they didn't have them marked, which I thought was weird. And they said 99 cents, which was kind of rare. Usually movies are at least $1.99. So I don't know if he messed up or what. But so I started grabbing all kinds. And this is where I made some mistakes too. But because I didn't look very thoroughly through them. Because I looked through a couple and they were all such good quality. I was like, well... I quit looking after a while, which was a mistake because I made a couple of mistakes. But first up, for 99 cents, I got the Brave one. I had this on DVD. I don't really remember it. I think it's kind of like a Taken-style vigilante movie, but with Jodie Foster. I thought that might be worth watching, on Blu-ray and upgrading my DVD copy. 40-Year-Old Virgin, another DVD upgrade. I'm trying to get all these DVDs switched over to Blu-rays. This is a funny movie. I haven't seen it in a really long time, so I probably need to rewatch it. But definitely worth 99 cents. I began switching over my DVD set of the Transporter movies with this one for 99 cents. I love the Transporter movies, and I need to get them moved over to Blu-ray. Argo, this is where my first mistake. So I bought 2 copies of this movie. I don't know how I did it. And I may have got it somewhere else and just realized when I was going through them, I was like, why do I have 2 copies? This one had the slipcover. So I went with this one. I did not own this movie. I did enjoy this movie. This is a good Ben Affleck movie, directed movie. And I wanted to own it. So 99 cents for sure, worth it. So good, I got 2 copies. I'm sure it's not worth much. Another one for 99 cents was Vice. I remember seeing this in theaters and really enjoying Christian Bale's performance in this. And I thought for 99 cents, it's definitely worth it for his performance alone. I thought it was a pretty good movie. And then, surprisingly, when I looked this up, I was like, whoa, I don't own this movie? Because I enjoyed this movie. I really like Saoirse Ronan. And I haven't seen this since the theaters. So I was like, heck yeah, 99 cent pickup with the Saoirse Ronan movie. This movie is another one I saw a long time ago. I don't really remember it. But 99 cent pickup. I like a good sports movie. And I can't remember exactly the story of this, but I think it's pretty tragic, if I remember correctly. Another 99 cent pickup at that Goodwill. So I was going to town at this point, and this was at the very end of the night. So, that's why I say, don't give up on the Goodwills because you'll hit one eventually. I've done it on games before. I've gone to 10 freaking Goodwills and just been on the brink of not going back. Go step in the last Goodwill and, there's 30 PS3 games and they only want $2 a piece for them in perfect condition. So it does happen, and it happened on all these Blu-rays. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this is the second Michael Bay produced one. I didn't own this one. Both the Turtles movies were fine. Like, I didn't love them. Of course, the animated one I thought was a lot better that came out this past year. But I wanted to complete the set, and Megan Fox is hot. This movie I saw once. I can't remember if I liked it or not, but I do like Allison Brie. And I like Rebel Wilson too. So, and I'm not against a good, funny rom com. So, 99 cents, add it to the collection. I'll watch it again one day and probably make a horrible mistake. This was the best one, because it's hard to find classic Disney movies, or this is live action. Never mind. I'm thinking of something else. I actually don't have the Jungle Book Classic on Blu-ray, but I didn't actually own this for some reason. I did like this movie a lot. This is the Jungle Book live action for 99 cents. It is a visual marvel. They are not lying on the cover. Then that was it, not counting my mistakes. So here are a couple of my mistakes at that Goodwill. First one is I already own the Heat. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I thought it was sealed or something, and I thought, oh, or maybe I thought I'm going to give this to somebody because I love this movie so much. This is my favorite Paul Feig movie, and I think Bullock and McCarthy's chemistry is great. But I already own this movie on Blu-ray, so I'm not sure where I grabbed it. So I'm either probably going to sell it or give it to someone. Here's that extra copy of Argo I was talking about. This one doesn't have the slipcover. How I picked that up twice, I don't know. So if Big Easy doesn't, or Darth Easy doesn't have that, he's probably going to end up with a copy. I bet he does have Argo, though. I think I saw it in his collection video. Inception, I was really excited to get this because this is one of the Nolan movies that on repeat viewings I've kind of like enjoyed more and more. And I didn't own it. And I was like, ooh, Inception would be a cool one to have to add to the Nolan collection. And if I remember correctly, it only has the DVD in it. And the digital code didn't work. So this was a waste of money. Don't even think I could trade this in because they won't take it, a DVD in a Blu-ray case like that. So this is garbage pretty much. Unless I can find a loose copy of Inception on Blu-ray, which who knows. I probably will just hold on to this and see if I can find another copy of Inception and then, whatever. Kind of random. And then the final one, actually this wasn't a mistake. So this was a sealed copy of Spy, another Paul Feig movie with Melissa McCarthy. I enjoyed this movie a lot too. I already own it. But it was sealed for 99 cents and I thought, well, I could sell it or trade it in or something or give it to somebody. So 99 cents, not bad on that one. Those were my mishaps at that Goodwill. Sometimes I see a bunch of movies and I just start freaking out, or games I especially do it on, and I just start grabbing everything up if it's super cheap. And I was like, well, I'll deal with the consequences later. One movie I did order on Amazon during the whole Avatar debacle from earlier in this video. This was like $6, and I didn't own. I had this on DVD, so this is a DVD upgrade. Now I've got the Blu-ray and the DVD, the Diamond Edition of the classic Lion King, and I just picked up the live-action Lion King, so now I have them both, which is not bad. All right, next up, I went to this store about middle of the day called Super Mega Replay or Mega Replay. It's kind of like an Indiana chain. I think there's one in like Owensboro and stuff, but I've been here before. It's one of those stores that's when you first walk in, you're like, oh my gosh, they have everything. But it's a little misleading. They just have 50 copies of the same garbage stuff. I guess it's one of the places that will take anything. First up is a upgrade from DVD to Blu-ray for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I really like this movie. I have not seen it in a while, so need to rewatch it. Of course, this is famously the movie that broke up Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, and now they're not even together anymore, but they've got some kids together. I'm gonna hold that one off for a second. I got a 4K copy. I think this was like $5. Like I don't like to go out of my way to buy 4K copies, especially for movies in sets that I don't have 4K. But when it's super cheap, like this was for $5, I was like, man, it's hard to pass up. So I also didn't really like this one very much. I liked the Hitman's Bodyguard, but Hitman's Wife Bodyguard was kind of meh for me. But complete the set, and it's in 4K. $5, can't beat it. Mr. and Mrs. Smith was $3.99. That is as low as their Blu-rays, I felt like, went there. Another $5 pickup. I'd been wanting this because I thought it was pretty good. It's, both of the Venom movies were pretty average, but I enjoyed them for what they were. But this was another one where it was like they had the 4K copy for like $6 or $7, and I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and get that. That's another thing weird about this place is you'll find the regular copies and they'll want like $12, $13 for them, but then you'll go over to the 4Ks and they'll have them way marked down. They have a lot of pricing errors here, which I'll go over one that was funny earlier, and they honor the price that's on the sticker at this place. So sometimes you can get some really good deals, especially on like box sets and stuff. I surprisingly didn't own this. This is a really good Michael Bay film, 13 hours, and picked it up. Not bad. That was a $3.99 movie. I'd been looking for a copy of the original Beauty and the Beast. They had it on 4K. I think this was $10. This was one of the ones where they wanted like $12, $14 for the original, then only $10 for the 4K. So I was like, well, I'm going to get the 4K. I actually had the 4K of Little Mermaid as well. On these old school animated movies, the 4K doesn't really do much. Like, you can't really tell the difference. Like, at least on the CG animated ones, they look really good, but I don't know. I can't really notice the difference from the classic animated ones. This was one that I could have swore they had priced wrong. But the guy didn't say anything. So, sometimes they'll like, oh, the first Harry Potter, they'll put that on one of these and then you get the whole set for that. And I could have swore this was wrong, but whatever. I got this for $15, which maybe is not as good of a deal as I thought, but it's all 8 Harry Potter movies on Blu-ray, which I think is a steal. I had them, or my daughter has them all on DVD. I'm not the hugest Harry Potter fan, but for $15 for all 8 movies on Blu-ray, I mean, that's a cool little set. And it's probably because they made a ton of these. Harry Potter is very popular, so probably not as good of a deal as I'm thinking, but I couldn't pass it up for $15. The Departed. This is famously one of the movies that I don't love, but I've only watched it once. I remember not liking the ending. I do remember there's some good performances in here. It's one of the ones I need to go back and rewatch, and it's probably better than I'm remembering. So grabbed it up. This was really cheap too, if I remember correctly, like $4 probably. All these non-slipped Blu-rays were $3.99 at this place, and like I said, I got a couple free. This is another movie where I really liked Matthew McConaughey's performance, but I thought the movie was pretty meh. I actually forgot Bryce Dallas Howard's even in this movie, and I liked the shiny gold slipcover, and it was $3.99, so I was like, I'll get it. I'll watch it again one day when I'm in a Matthew McConaughey mood. Another movie I saw once in theaters. It's not my favorite Will Smith movie. They do some weird stuff where he's like fighting against his younger self in this movie. It's an Ang Lee film too, which are very hit and miss sometimes. But I don't know. I saw it once. I don't really remember a whole lot about it. I think this came out like in COVID time, if I remember correctly. So thought it was worth the $3.99. This actually, yeah, $3.99 for it. Had this movie in really old DVD, one of those old cardboard cases. The sequel's coming out this year, and I am interested in that, and I really enjoy this movie. This was one of my very first drive-in memories, which is crazy because if you know this movie, it's got a funny drive-in scene. I like disaster movies. Some people don't like these because, it's a little too close to home. They have tornadoes had come through here even before, but I'm a big disaster movie guy, and there's just so many memorable moments in this movie. Now, of course, we're not going to get Bill Paxton, but apparently the sequel is like his daughter in the movie and her son or something. I can't remember, so it'd be interesting to see again, and I will definitely rewatch that when we get closer to the new one coming out. Another and it was $3.99. This is $3.99 too. It took me a while to find a copy of this. I've been wanting this, and I was kind of wanting it in 4K because I remember enjoying this movie, just not liking the end. Like, this is one of the Nolan movies where I was like, once again, I like Inception. I felt like, oh, if I watch it again, I may like it more than I did. I remember Matthew McConaughey is really good in it. Saw it once in theaters, never got it because I wanted to watch it again. And then if I really do like it again the second time, then I may end up upgrading this to 4K, or if I find it at like that booth for $4. But now I have it. I'm starting to build a collection of freaking Nolan movies. Darth Easy would be proud. Crank, I had this on DVD, so of course I went ahead and upgraded it to the Blu-ray. I do really enjoy this one. I remember hating the second one. So this may be something I just never get the second one and just stick with this original. This was very chaotic and fun movie, and I like Jason Statham, so $3.99. This was the one where it was kind of funny. So I have the first three movies on DVD, and they had one copy of this exact set, which is all three movies on Blu-ray, for $14.99, which I thought, okay, $5 a movie. That seems like a good deal. I don't think there's this huge love for Men in Black. But then I found this one for $9.99, which I thought, okay, now we're talking. So I grabbed it up. And when I took it up to the shelf and he scanned it in, it did say that it was mistagged. And he said this set was supposed to be $34.99. I thought, well, that was weird because I was like, you got another one out there that's $14.99. But it did say it was just ringing up the first Men in Black movie, which is funny. So I don't know if it's that good of a deal because, I mean, if it's $34.99, I got it for $9.99, and it is a good deal. But I have a feeling their pricing was a little off on this because, I mean, it's the first three Men in Black movies. But I do love these movies. I even like the third one. I think it's a good end to it. But then after I did that, I was like, well, I guess I'll pay the $3.99 to get Men in Black International, which I didn't like very much. But you know me and my OCD, I had to complete the set. So grab this up. So now I have all the Men in Blacks on Blu-ray. All right, finally, we'll go through the games. Right by the door is the Super Nintendo game, so I looked at them first. They had a bunch of Super Nintendo games, but one I had been wanting to add to the collection, which is this is another thing I haven't done a collection video for because I don't feel like my Super Nintendo collection is quite big enough yet, but I have been collecting for Super Nintendo again, just the games. I've been buying custom cases for them. But Air the Acrobat, I remember renting this game as a child and playing it. I don't think I ever beat it or got anywhere close, but they had this for $12, which is about what it's worth. So it's not like a crazy deal or anything, but I immediately was like, ooh, a clean copy of Air the Acrobat? Yes, please. So I got that right out the gate. Let's see. What else did I get? I think I got these two games at Super Mega Replay, so I guess we'll do these first. This was one they had priced wrong. That just said like import or something on the sticker, $4.99. They had another copy of the game for $12.99 or $14.99. I've been getting all the Hot Wheels games on PS2 only because I remember on PS2 playing one of them. I don't remember which one's good or what, but this is a complete copy of it, so I thought that was worth it. I also picked up this, although now that when I was going through pulling the stickers and cleaning it, I noticed it had the dreaded sticker on the actual cover art, which I hate. But I had this on my wish list. This is one of those games I don't think I played as a kid, and it always cracked me up. That has a warning check ID sticker on it. So another Rockstar game. They made a ton of games for the PS2. I don't know. It was the top game of E3 by GameSpot.com back in the day. I'll have to check this out, but I will probably be conditioned upgrading this because I hate that sticker residue on the inner case. But for now, it's going to go in the set. This was $10. I think right at what its value is. So, and then the final game I got at there, because it's a lot harder to find games at Super Mega Replay, was Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ghoul. This is that game based on that Zack Snyder movie, which I did enjoy, and I don't think I own, so I probably need to get the movie of this. But you never know. I am a sucker to get movie tie-in games and another game for the PS3 collection. And that was it for the games at Super Mega Replay. One of the games at, I think, the very first thrift store I went into, I picked this up. It was either $8 or $10. Weirdly, I thought I had all the Tony Hawks, but this was one I didn't have, and I don't really remember this one at all. So it might not be very good. I think its value is only worth like $8, but it was really clean, and it's complete. And so I grabbed it up at that thrift store. And then my final game of this part of the video, I did go to GameStop in the mall in Evansville, and they had Sonic Superstars, which is on my wish list. I've been wanting to play this. Marked down to $29.99, which I noticed at like Walmart and stuff, they had it at $39.99. So I think this is the GameStop had it the cheapest markdown. Of course, this is a GameStop new copy, which means they had only they opened them regardless. But this was actually the only copy they had left, because it went up to the guy and he was like, "I don't think I have any copies of that." And I was like, "Then why is the case on the shelf?" It drives me crazy. GameStop, put the cases up if you don't have any copies in the damn shelf. But then I was like, "Well, I have faith. Look." I kind of forced him to look, and then he found it. He found the last copy of this game, so I got it, and then I actually used my $5, which is a whole nother racket in its own, because I'm a GameStop Pro member. So I got this for $25, which I think is a deal for considering this game came out like 2 months ago. And yeah.